Hi. A few people have asked me about the Whispergen Stirling engine and some issues they have with the burner. So what I'll do, I'll put a video together on what's involved in burner maintenance and how it all goes together. What we're looking at here is the burner sitting on top of the Stirling engine. It consists of several shells to preheat the incoming air with the combustion gases, which go out here. We have a evaporator mounted in the center, which evaporates the incoming diesel. We have a glow plug to start the burner and a flame detector to make sure it's all safe and to shut off the fuel supply if there's no flame. So what I'll first do, I'll disconnect a few things. Disconnect the wire to the glow plug. I'll disconnect the fuel supply. I'll disconnect the flame detector. I'll just put this aside for now. We'll have a look at it in detail when we put it all back together. I will take out the evaporator. There's a gasket. Put it aside for now. I will disconnect the fan. The gasket. Disconnect the temperature switch here in the connector. So you can put the fan to one side. Disconnect the exhaust thermocouple and disconnect the burner shell from the exhaust heat exchanger. There's a fourth nut at the bottom, but I removed that already because it's a bit hard to get to. To make it a bit easier, I'll remove this hose as well. This hose is to spray some water in the heat exchanger just after the start to clean out any soot and other contaminants. Gives us a bit more space. So now the burner is almost, I can push this one out. Almost ready to come off. All that's keeping it down now are these springs that pull it down. I've got a nice little hook to undo the springs. but you can also use just a vice grip, which works really well. Yes. Undo the springs. Oh, and one more thing. We have an earth wire that's connecting the core engine to the burner. It's required for the evaporator. We'll undo that one as well. Okay. Now we have a left of the silicon seal with two springs to keep it all gears tight. What I'll do is I'll just pull the springs up, leave them on the burner, and flick up the seal that stays with the burner as well. So now we should be able to lift up the burner as one piece. I'll do that slowly, carefully. This is what it looks like on the inside. 4 cylinder heads. Surrounded by ceramic stone and some seals. So the combustion gases are supposed to go through these fins to heat the heads, and for that reason there's a seal here on the outside which seals the burner, and there's some seals underneath here so the exhaust gases don't escape through these gaps. The seals are made from a ceramic material which can be a bit itchy, so carefully remove those and put it away in the bag. Now we can lift off the ceramic stone, and you'll see that there are 4 seals around the cylinders that seal to the stone here. The stone itself is okay. There are a few cracks in the center, but there's nothing to worry about. It's still one piece, so that's all that's required. Again, these seals are ceramic, so we'll carefully put those away. If easy to fall apart when they've been warm. It's gone. I'll give it a quick clean with the vacuum cleaner. Also the stone. So now we need to put some new seals on here. I could put them on the cylinders, but I will never get them fitted into this ceramic again. So what I'll do is put them in here. They should stick. The seals have been treated with organic binder, that's why they're quite hard. But that's good, that suits us to keep them in place. So we now fitted the seals in the ceramic stone, and now we have to put it back on the cylinders, which needs a bit of help. The chip comes off, doesn't matter. The stone is down far enough. There's still a bit of plane here because the seals are very hard and not even, but as soon as it's heated once, the binder will be gone, it's all soft and it will settle down, and then the burner springs will pull it down. So next we'll put on a new ceramic rope. You can see it's quite a bit thicker than the old one, which was squashed a bit. So that should seal the lot and force the combustion gases through the fins on these cylinders. So now the burner can go back on. Carefully not to push that seal in the outside down, and don't force it. It should slide on fairly easy. Might want to rotate it a bit, slide it down. Not sure I got the right. I better check. They look alright, but I'll just better check. Okay, here we go again. Yep, that's right. You might want to rotate the burn a bit, slide it on. So now we first put the ceramic seal back. That's one spring. That's the second one. Okay, orientation is right. Now we can put springs back on. with the heat exchanger again. Okay, 2 nuts will do for the moment. Can hook up the exhaust thermocouple again. Now the fan can go back on. Power supply. Two wires to a temperature switch for the incoming air. That's the safety thing. Gasket. Oh. Again, 2 of the 4 screws will do for the moment. First wire, it's gonna go back on. Okay. Right, now the evaporator. Normally the evaporator wick, the mesh is to be replaced every 500 hours. I'm not sure if you can see the detail here. You can see some of the holes are partially blocked compared to one shown here. So what we'll do is we'll take it apart, see if it works like this. Nope, so I'll have to put in the vise. Do that. Hang on. So just use the vise and pliers to loosen it up. Now I can pull it apart. You see there's quite a bit of carbon. This one definitely needs a good clean and a new mesh. And see it's completely filled up with carbon. So I'll quit the video now and give it a good clean. So I've cleaned the evaporator with some sandpaper. Cleaned it up. So now we need a new evaporator mesh. Replace the old one. And they come in 2 versions. The difference is there's a slight difference in height, as you can see, about 6-7 millimeters. The difference is that one evaporator is what we call a low noise version, which is this one with the ring on top, which we need a slightly smaller mesh. So the evaporator we have here is a low noise version, so I'll get one of these smaller variants. Remove the tape. We'll push the mesh right up to the top. That's where it goes. Put the cap back on, try to rotate it so it slides easier. And then these holes should be free, like you can see here. Okay. Put the gasket back. And put it all back together. So that's the evaporator. Now we can have a look at the glow plug. Remove that. This one looks alright, hasn't done too many hours. I'll show you one that doesn't look as good. This one's been cracked, so it's definitely due for replacement. But one we have here looks fine to me. This can go back in. If the glow plug is faulty, it's come up as a fault on the display. Then we'll have a look at the flame detector. It's important that there are no cracks in the ceramic part. The tip should be reasonably clean, not too much corrosion. You can sort of clean it up a bit with sandpaper. This one still looks alright. Look tidy. Compared to this one, not sure if you can see it, but that's been really hot, corroded, it's all brittle, and this is due for replacement. But this one looks fine, so we'll just put it back. What we have to do is adjust the height of the flame detector, which can be done with moving this clip up and down. First need to measure the height, which we can do by having a piece of wire. Put it down here right up to the stone. Then mark it. The distance should be in the order of 134 millimeters plus or minus 5. I've got here 135, that's spot on. We make another mark 9 millimeters below, about there, and then the height of the flame detector has to correspond with that mark. So it's got to move it a little bit here. That's about right. Put this one back in. This is the flame detector. And you can put the fuel line back. wire for the glow plug. Don't forget to put that hose back. And we should be back in business. So what I'll do now is I'll connect the monitoring software, Micromon, and we can have a look on screen what happens when I start it up. One other thing I might mention is that if you have an issue with the burn that's not starting, you could check the fuel supply by going into the installation menu in the display. Let me disconnect this for a moment. If you go into the installation menu, to fuel bleeds, and you can turn on the fuel plug. So you can see it's dripping well, so that the pump is working. And switch it off again. Just a quick way to check if the fuel supply is all working okay. So like I said, I'll leave it here for now. I'll start up the unit and probably post this a different video. Okay, thanks for watching.